Subscribe to Film Companion for your film fix. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update.
Everyone,
How are you, sir?
all good, all good, all good. Thank you.
It's a dream
Full
to
screen,
see you.
please.
Okay, guys, we've forgotten the ground rules immediately. Please keep yourself on mute.
I think, yeah, but it's too exciting. So everyone wanted to say hi to Rahman. So they can excuse them for like 2 seconds.
A big hi to everyone. God bless you. Anything which is huge, is one of the professions going to pay amazingly well if you have the courage and you never give up.
Right.
And never giving up is the most important thing. And chickening out of, if you feel if you don't achieve anything, go deeper, go deeper, go deeper. And in no time, you'll find that you'll be the best in what you're doing. Just don't keep seeing comments and negative things of what family says and all that stuff. Go deeper. And in my case, I want to just tell something like an anecdote. Like when I left Mr. Ilayaraja, I came out, and my mom was very insecure. Oh, you left a job, he was paying you every day, and what is going to happen to the family? You're going to drag everybody to the streets. And I just kept quiet. I just put my headphones and start practicing. I'll be practicing so many different things, just all the stuff I knew I was getting better at. And automatically, people started knocking your door. It's like the universe will hear that. It's not through Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, but there is some other beyond connection which connects all of us. And that'll be heard. If you're really true to yourself and you're honest with your thing, I think it comes to you. I've seen many filmmakers, musicians, all rising up like that, who just forgot about everything and just became the art. When I look back, not having a father was definitely a minus, but also my mother compensated for that. And so there's no conflict between mother and father. So I can't say, I think everything, even every good and bad thing which happens in your life is actually meant to be. And if you take that as in the bad, there's good hidden, and in the good, there's bad hidden. And that's a recent wisdom I've got in the past 5 years. Yeah, I think last week I had a root canal, and so they just put syringes and kind of torture you to redeem you from the pain. Is when I realized actually sometimes death is more calming than suffering for ages and years, because you suffered for 8 years. And that actually I dealt with my pain that time better, thinking that this is the pain we were giving in protecting her from, when I go through sometimes the streets which are cluttered, ugly, and completely, it's like a junkyard. But if I put music and then I go in the car, the whole scenario changes. It becomes poetic, artistic. So that is everybody can try that. You can go to the most ugliest place, put the most beautiful music, the whole scenario changes, right? And that's the power of music. In 3 seconds, it transforms you to the composer's mind who's composed it. Imagine Mozart's Requiem playing on this junkyard. And that immediately gives another artistic whole realm to the listener and the viewer. And that's the power of music. And I feel like sometimes lyrics have that, poetry has that, and instrumentals, those things have that. So your mind has to be, you're getting a tsunami of negative things, and you just have to go into that space where you reflect and show the world, this is the way. And this is how it should be. And so artists can make the world very, very beautiful. Even now, when I meet a client, they say it should be simple, hummable, like Airtel. And they give the same brief for over 35 years. I've been getting the same brief. It should be simple, hummable, and cool. Or, people should sing it after this one. So what happens is you simplify everything you write. You could write a symphony, but it should be as simple as ta-da-da-da, ta-da-da-da. And so even when great composers have done that, why not us? You might have, as a musician, you want to show your skills. You want to show everything you learned on the composition, but you have to think from the listener's perspective. And because they're going through hell and they come to your song for some solace or some excitement, so what could you do for them? What can you do for them? And even working with Mani Ratnamji, actually, because I wanted to impress him, I would play jazz and everything, and he'll just put that out. And, oh, that tune is nice. What is that? So then you say, okay, he wants that because it's simple. And then you understand from a larger perspective of what music could do and how universal it could become. I mean, of course, you could do jazz, but then it's very esoteric, smaller audience, which is fine. Sometimes you need to do all that. Otherwise, sometimes I feel that I'm doing very, very simple things, which is boring for myself. And then start doing something which is, that's how I think Jia Jale, like in Jia Jale, all that stuff, the syncopation happened because Sivamani came in that time, and we were challenging ourselves. And, the whole BGM, which has got all that syncopations happen. Sometimes when the song is very solid, you can go into all these gimmickry and come out of it. It adds so much of life to everything. The K-pop thing, actually, if you look at the whole, the marketing strategy, everything, the government is helping them. The whole system is helping them because they want to bring South Korea to the world map. And they brought it already almost with collective filmmaking and classical music and, pop and all this stuff. I think India needs to, that we should stop all the fights and then look at the young people achieving greatness and as inventors, as artists, as leaders of tomorrow. I think that's one thing which our foundation is doing. Go beyond all this divisive things, but look at what we need to do for the future. How do you put the seed for the future to make this country the best in the world? With Mani sir, I think that he always feels like, I don't want any songs. I'm just going to go. Just give me background score. And then he'll come down maybe one song, then two songs. Then finally we have 12 songs, 12 to 13, 14 songs. When I'm free, I keep writing songs. I keep writing melodies and I keep storing them. And suppose when I have a block or something, I listen to some of the stuff and I categorize them. Usually when I'm traveling, I do all that stuff because it's a very tedious job of listening to yourself and categorizing it and rating it and then putting it. So last year, quite a lot of stuff I had something. And sometimes it makes sense. It'll trigger you to do something else, but there's a good trigger points. Oh.
And when you say categorizing, meaning like what are the categories? Like happy, sad, like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
Happy, sad, commercial.
That is super organized. That's like
not that much. I think like 20%, I would say. Not the rest of the 80% is all fully chaos.
Wow.
Like, sometimes, you work on a song, you just go deeper, nothing happens. And finally, and you get up and then you feel like you sit back and then the magic happens. So that's one thing I've found, that when you just give up and there's something waiting for you.
So it's happy, sad, commercial. I love it.
Happy, sad, commercial, disco, peppy, Punjabi, rag based.
Oh my God, this is an interview in itself. Anu, we should have just made this the topic of the interview.
You always keep your mind open for happy accidents, as they call in English, and prepare for that. So those accidents sometimes, for instance, there's a song in OK Kanmani, which is Kara Atakara. I was trying to edit that song for almost over 6 months and could never get it. And then by accident, I pulled a phrase from the last part and joined something happened. And then there's a rap going and there's a melody underneath. And then that magic happened. And I said, oh my God, this is great. So I'm unprepared usually. Like I try to initialize my brain saying that I don't know anything. I'm going to sit there and see what happens with an intention to surprise myself and surprise others. So you've been in music, you're listening to loud mixes and you're arranging them. I think just quietness helps, just sounds of nature. But then I always lean on towards classical music, whether it's Western classical or Hindustani or Qawwali or Carnatic music.
Are there any specific artists?
Yes. Mostly the greats, Tchaikovsky and Beethoven, and then Bill Evans on jazz, then and from Nusrat Saab and Qawwali and Kumar Gandharv, and then Ajay Chakravarti, then Veena Sasarabde, then the list goes on. Now Ronkini was singing beautifully, and all those little kids were pretty amazing.
Yeah.
They are in par with the greats, almost.
True.
So yeah, I think then Pratibha, who does all the ghazals, and we've been telling about miking on how she has to each prophecy which is given to humankind, whether it's Gita, Quran, or Bible, they are like a owner's manual for the human body, the human behavior, and the consciousness, and they teach you what is good, what is bad. Killing is wrong, and stealing is wrong. Going after your neighbor's wife is wrong,
Correct.
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, and you'll get harmed if you do that stuff, and fornicating is wrong, and all this stuff. So there are certain results to that, and in my opinion, you should things actually when you immerse in great philosophy and teachings, you have to find your own truth. Are you finding your own truth? Yes, this happened. I prayed and this happened. I did this and this happened. So if you are deep into that stuff, you'll be self-guided, and there is truth in everything, I feel. And when you talk about poetry, you talk about Thiruvalluvar, who's a Jain poet back in the south. I grew up with studying Tamil poetry, and there are many things which I keep following, because there is one great that two-liners. It says, "Nunalum tan vayal kedum." That means a frog brings destruction to itself by its sound of the mouth. So when you have motor mouth and you speak unnecessarily, it ruins your own progress, and it takes your energy into wrong things. And there are many beautiful things on Tirukkural which has become actually a foundation for my character. So that is one thing. And then you of course we all read Rumi. Rumi stuff is beyond religion. You feel like
Absolutely.
when you listen, when you listen to it, you feel like this is the truth. How does he know about it?
Yeah.
So he says like you're not a drop in the ocean, you are an ocean in a drop. Is huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. That means that our body and our soul is not just what we seem to understand, but it's beyond. And then he says the wound is a place where the light enters. Absolutely. And when you see that every low point of your life actually opens up new doors in your imagination and the way it structures your life. And there's a tragedy, and then many beautiful other things open after the tragedy. And there's a success, and many devils are underneath, hidden. So these are the things which we find ourselves by experiencing life, from learning from life. And so we don't need any gurus. Actually, we can experience us. When we learn, we make the choices in what we need. And I think I'm in that state where I feel like if I read certain things and this happens, there's truth in it. And slowly, I think self-realization is the best part of life. I think it takes a lifetime to do that.